The Invention of Opera by Orpheus. The Invention of Opera. I haven't stopped hurting in years. Once, all the heroes and sages and dancers got in a boat and sailed away. We swore we would explore the world for a decade and a day. We pledged ourselves in service. We were rose knights, sailing in search of injustices to fight. We outsung sirens, we toppled sinister powers, stood up for the rights of dragonflies and dragonflowers, meditated under waterfalls in sub-zero blizzards, strived to change the mind of dark, brooding wizards, dodged the gaze of stone girls who forever say never. We saw the pillars of wisdom in every kind of weather. We were pantomime pirates. We only stole from bastards. We had all the best questions and an assortment of answers. We impersonated servants to outwit cruel lords, accepted the surrender of skeleton hordes, strolled through burning cities. Time was on our side then. There are mountains no one could climb, but we climbed them. We brought water for the thirsty and magic for the gold. Walking a path of broken hearts, we found a fleece of gold. The brightest nights in Arcadia were bright because of us. We invented a working alchemy, picked platinum from rust and dust to find a fortune anywhere. We welcomed every stowaway. We tricked goblins into changing their name and rescued geometry when it was kidnapped by Boss Miracle. We saw the rise and fall of the rise and fall. There were those brothers and sisters whom we could not save. Those who fell. Forever love shall tend their graves. And there were sacrifices, and there were betrayals. There was the dark day after the decade we sailed together, when we said farewell to comradeship and to adventure, to those bright times when we would deface big statues of small men. Now came cold days, bit and scratched by everything, and bit and scratched again. Dark days when clown devil memories would send us insane. But the worst day of them all, was my wedding day. The starry priestess told me to kiss the bride. An organ played again. Slowly our party filed outside to the heat-wave sunset, to sit on white chairs and listen as Socrates, the best man, spoke. He called me child of inspiration. And his audience was all our friends, Robo-Daughter and Perseus, and a 10-foot-tall lady, the flying ambulance man, the old sailors who made it. They brought us presents. Here a white flower that once ended a war. Here a picture of itself, ladders made of demons' bones and more. Say these words at this time on this day for a picnic on Mercury. Here a mirror that shows you as you need to be. Here the Duchess of Flame prophesies airplanes in the sky. Behind her stands a figure too bright to be seen by the eye. The sun itself, folded down to the shape of a man. Golden god Apollo, carrying something in each hand. In the right, unsheathed, is his shining sword of reason. In the left is a potted plant, a stalk with a few young leaves on. My father Apollo cares for, tends, waters this sapling tree, which once was his love, a poor nymph named Daphne. Here, more wedding presents, proud backslaps, fond kisses, as, standing by Eurydice, Socrates still reminisces about the war field on which we all met, about the jokes the oracles told him that they haven't told him yet, about the year we disguised ourselves as monks to hide out in a silent monastery. Here, next to the rambling old philosopher, my bride Eurydice. Oh, the goddess, god of lust, paints our faces this evening. Our evening, on our day, every beggar is a disguised king, and the clocks tell silly times. And here, behind my wife, the inevitable witch we forgot to invite. She brings darkness. Now all our guests turn to see as this river bitch snarls at Apollo with his sword and his tree. You care for us as we care to observe the etiquette of fleas. You people, do you know what it's like to be wanted by a deity? He'll keep rearranging existence until he's got you. For you, he'll make reality itself a prison, and should there be any consequences, he'll just turn them into symbolism. It's alright for you, you don't have to hurt, but these are people's lives, these are our lives. There's one question, a few words none of you thought to say. Maybe you had more important things on your mind, maybe more pressing matters got in the way, but how does a poor young nymph get turned into Apollo's little tree? How do you turn a woman into a potted plant? Oh, it's easy, allowing for the improbable presence of, shall we say, an apple seed in the poison she drank to get away from you. The only escape for my daughter Daphne was death. Now look at you, you care for, tend, water her kindly. Today, little God, the sun sets, but blind eyes can still hear a curse. Today, small God, you gain a daughter, as you did to mine, so to yours and worse. There are secret shrines, temples, where the fire must never go out, but sometimes the fire goes out. Even as she spoke, I heard the shout. I turned, ran, here, 30 white layers of wedding cake, towering over the fallen corpse of my bride, taken by the bite of a snake. Feel like when it feels like, this must be what it feels like when you know you need a stick to walk. When you're young, you don't ask yourself, what does it feel like when it feels like you're getting old? Only the chrysalis aches, I tell myself. Only the chrysalis aches. It's bullshit. I know in my bones this is what it's like to really lose. Fields that once meant delight now mean melancholy. Everywhere there was to walk, I walked with you. But time marches me forwards, and you will only ever be behind me now, and I can't look back. The ringing in my ears. The ache in my teeth. Trembling of my hands, the grind in my knees, the ringing in my ears. It's the songs you might have sung to me, the ache in my teeth. Sweet juice we'd have drunk, the shaking of my hands, sun, over hills that have been dark for centuries. The ache in my teeth. It's the desserts we should have made. All the pop, all the chocolate games we have played. The quivering of my hands. It's the gifts I have wrapped up for you. Eros's blood-stained arrow. Eros's tears too. The grind in my knees. It's the places we could have gone. Black doors into darkness. Endless bridges to cry on. The ringing in my ears is symphonies I'd have scored for you. A key to open closed off gardens and make stiff gates smooth. The holes in my teeth are the sweet days we'd have slurped, hollow years we filled, oh holy heaven we usurped. Tremblings of my fingers are puppet shows to make you smile, make you forget the cruel long night of an unjust exile. The grind in my ankles is all the doors I'd have carried you through, the endings we'd have fled from, all the planets I'd have played with you. And the dizziness of my head is the heights you'd have driven me. First night at the guest house, we'd be on the outskirts of sanity. And the mildew in my lungs reminds us that today we go to hell. Reminds us yesterday and tomorrow will be the same as well. And the stabs to my heart, the blood in all my water will be gold guarded there by the devil's headstrong daughter. And the hurts in my brain, they're our mutual curiosity. Never ending, even now, we'll outrun a terminal velocity. The ringing in my ears is a million sublime misunderstandings. Let's tell queens what to wear, let's offer wisdom to kings. The ache in my teeth is an iron apple I had to eat, but prison breaks plotted by gods to make solid a shadow like me. The tiredness of my arms is clockwork cities I built, jigsaw skies I held up to the sunlight someone spilt. The grind in these joints is an ancient evil for us to vanquish. The chill in the breeze blows, just kiss up a kiss up a kiss up a kiss, and afternoon naps are century long sleeps awake you from alive in this world of ghosts. Right, but it's all gone wrong, and the worries that have worried whenever you were late will be roses big enough to live in. Ours make the candle worth the cake, and the small jealousies that have suffered will instead be a spear through a swan. And these rain clouds covering the sky, they're the carpets we'd have flown on, and the bad times, the arguments we'd have waged, are screaming, pounding vistas of dreadful judgment days. The ringing in my ears, that's a bomb blast, sing always at once. The gaps in my teeth, they're the gods on their line humps. The shaking of my hands, that's the saints greeting you. The grind in my knees, tonight I will make more than just the earth move. The ringing, the ringing, the ringing, the ringing, the ache, the ache, the ache, the ache, the trem, 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 the grind. Oh, the improbable and There is only the story of old Orpheus doing what can't be done. There is a single story, this one story of us outwitting death. You were always here, you never left. Here, I can hear you. Here, I can see you. A falling curtain. This brief, eternal twilight was the fading to nothing of my eyesight. Tonight, the first boat ever built arrives where it could only ever be. I looked back, saw time, and all that there was behind me. The grind in mine, the trembling of mine, the ache in mine, the ringing in.